Have you ever loved someone so much that the mere thought of losing them makes your chest tighten and feel so painful, as if those thoughts were internally killing you? Maybe it was a person who you thought was the one for you. Maybe it was someone who made you feel so safe. Or maybe it was someone who promised you that they would never leave your side, and one day they did. And now every time you try getting closer to someone, you can't shake that fear within you. Your thoughts go like, what if that person leaves me? What if I'm never enough for them? What if I get rejected again? I know exactly how it feels because I have been in that place before, and I've been holding on to this fear of losing people who never even loved me in the first place, who I thought I loved and who were my loved ones. And finally, I've learned how to let go of that fear. You know, this fear, this pain that you're feeling right now, I'm saying you can transform that into your greatest strength. Yes, it's possible. Stay with me till the end of this video because I'm going to share with you a strategy that helped me finally let go of this fear and finally start living my life to the fullest. And today I'm going to break down why we feel this way, how our past experiences are shaping our present, and this particular strategy that you can use to let go of this fear forever. But before we begin, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Nisha and I create content that'll help you step up your game and transform yourself for the better. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at outofniche with Nisha for more content to level up your life. Now let's get into it. Why do we fear losing someone who didn't even love us back at the first place? This fear that you're feeling isn't just about them. It's something much deeper, something rooted in our past. Think about it. When you were younger, every time you reached out for love, your brain made a note of what happened next. Every time you were abandoned, rejected, or when you felt that you had to earn love, that experience didn't just disappear. It shaped the way you see relationships today. There are 3 deep reasons you fear losing someone who didn't love you back. The first reason is a fear of not being enough. When someone leaves, we take it personal, like we weren't smart enough, attractive enough, or lovable enough. But the truth is, their leaving says more about them than it does about you. It might have had nothing to do with you. It's just all in their mind and their decisions. It had nothing to do with your worth. Second reason is unresolved abandonment wounds. If you've ever been neglected, ghosted, or made to feel like you're left out in a group of people, your brain is wired to expect that pattern to repeat. It's called rejection sensitivity and it's 100% real. You're not overthinking. And the third reason is the illusion of love. We all have illusions of love, don't we? Sometimes we fear losing someone because we misunderstand attachment as love. We so strongly trust that we need that person to feel like a whole human, that we need them to fill our cups in order to feel whole. But that's not true. You filling your own cups makes you a whole person. You don't need someone else to fill your cup in order for you to feel whole. The problem here is if you don't heal this, you'll keep repeating the cycle. You'll always keep choosing people who make you feel unworthy, thus proving your fear right. So how do we actually break from this cycle? How do we actually let go of this fear of losing people or fear of rejection that we feel? There's a simple 5-step strategy that I'm going to share with you right now that works like magic. We are not going to share around. We are not going to fool ourselves. We're going to use this 5-step strategy and we are going to transform this fear that we feel into our greatest strength. First step is to shift your mindset from rejection to redirection. This is the first step and the most important step before you start trying anything else. If you try changing everything around you, you change the friends that you have, you go to a different location because this location reminds you of that person. If you do anything, you change your wardrobe, you change the way your hair looks, your body looks, you train yourself enough, but you don't change your mindset, none of those matters. Your mindset is the key because what you believe becomes your reality. Think about it like this. What if rejection isn't actually about you? What if it's just misalignment? For example, imagine you're applying for these jobs that you are not right for, all the while ignoring the jobs that you actually fit for, that your profile actually fits for, you're never going to get that job. Your application is simply going to get rejected until you get redirected and find the right job that's meant for you. The same goes with love. When someone leaves you, that just means that they're not the right person for you. When your friend abandons you or when your family abandons you, it just means that that is not the place where you're meant to be. Life is just doing the work and it's just redirecting you to the place where you're actually meant to be. Someone leaving your life just makes space for the right people to come into your life again. The second step is to recognize attachment isn't love. Love is peaceful. Love is not chaotic. Love feels mutual. Love is calm. Whereas attachment is fear-based. It's chaos. It's complete chaos. You feel the thrill. You feel the butterfly. You feel as if you're in a roller coaster ride 24/7 if it's an attachment. Whereas love might feel like you're sitting in a boat in a beautiful lake surrounded by greenery. It's not really thrilling. It's beautiful, but it doesn't give you that thrill, the sudden rush that you feel in attachments, because that's what triggers the fear inside you. Love gives you the strength, makes you feel that with just the love that person gives you, you can survive anything. Whereas attachment makes you feel that if that person is not there, you cannot do anything. You're never complete without that person. That's how attachment looks like. Let's look at an example for attachment. Have you ever been in a friendship or a relationship that you couldn't let go of, even though deep down you knew that that's not doing any good for you? That wasn't love. That was attachment, a fear-based attachment. And the moment you realize this, no one can ever fool you again. I say, take it from me. Step 3 is to build self-love independent of others. Here's the hard truth. If you don't see your worth, if you don't love yourself enough, you'll always keep looking for others to validate it. For example, think about someone who you admire, someone who's confident, secure, and magnetic. Do you ever think they'll be chasing love or people or anything? No, they just attract it towards them. They just attract the right people towards them. Why? Because they know their self-worth, because they know what they can bring to the table and they know their value. And they'll never, ever settle for anything less than what they deserve. Step number 4 is to stop living in fear-based relationships. Please admit it. It is exhausting to even think about living in a fear-based relationship. You eat, you walk, you sleep, you fear everything you do. It makes you overthink every text, every silence, every conversation, every interaction feels like you're walking through hellfire. And ironically, we keep holding on to such relationships. The reality is, the more you hold on to something, the more you push them away. For example, imagine you're holding on to a butterfly too tightly. What happens? It struggles, it suffocates, and then it dies or it leaves. Exactly the same thing happens with any fear-based relationship. But in case you hold it gently, it will stay. The same goes with relationships. The more you hold on to something or someone, you push them away. The moment you let it be, it will stay. Again, if it's meant for you. So every time you feel this fear getting triggered inside you, ask yourself this question. Are you loving this person from a place of peace or from a place of fear? If the answer is that you're loving this person from a place of fear, it's not love in the first place. It's again a fear-based attachment, and it's time for you to leave that person. It's time to let go of that butterfly. Sometimes it might appear as if it's a butterfly, but it might just be a moth, and that you dread. And finally, fully trust that what's meant for you will stay. When you truly believe, I say this again, when you truly believe that you can never lose something that's meant for you, this fear that you feel disappears in no seconds. It's high time we stop chasing, overthinking, and settling for people who don't even see our worth. Every time I faced a hard rejection, I thought, that's it. That's the end of life. my life was crumbling and I was ready to give up. Thank goodness I didn't. And fast forward to now, everything is much better. I'm stronger than ever before, and I've been through such a great transformation that sometimes I do not recognize the person in the past. Me in the past, I don't recognize her sometimes. That's the proof that life always has something greater in store. Always remember this, affirm this to yourself, write it down and say this to yourself so many times over and over again until your brain registers it. Say this: I trust that what's meant for me will never require me to beg for it. I know that healing from loss and rejection isn't easy at all. It got me all teary because that's how emotional I have become, because I know I've been through a lot, and I know so many of my friends, so many of my loved ones have gone through a lot, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you who's still here, who's still trying to get out of that fear, and who's still fighting to become stronger. I'm so damn proud of you. And I promise you, if you choose to keep going and never give up, one fine day you'll wake up and you realize that you're finally free from all of those fears that you were holding on to. Now I want to hear from you. Comment below, what's the one thing that you're taking away from this video? Every single comment means so much for me. It's a way I communicate with you guys. You can either communicate to me through the comments or you can DM me on Instagram. Every single message, every single comment is a proof that the content that I put out there is actually serving people, because that's the main purpose of me creating content in this channel. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who you feel needs to hear this today. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, I love you all. Bye.